Good morning, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I was stalling in hopes that we'd have a bass player arrive, but I guess we're not. So it's going to be me and Travis this morning, which is always a pleasure. Welcome, Barbara, Norm, new folks. Good to have you with us. We're going to start off with just a little bit of worship music, and the way it works around here is sometimes people come in, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they show up too late to services, so they talk outside before services start, but all of you respectful people are in here and ready to listen to the music. How was that for a polite slam? Thank you, everyone online. It's wonderful to celebrate this Shabbat with you and, of course, everyone in this room with your smiling faces. Schoenwalds. Let's sing a little bit. He is holy, Sharei Tzedek Yehovah Odeya. Open for me the gates of righteousness, and I will come in and praise Hashem. Ay 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 da da ay 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 da 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 ay 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 ay. Say hayom nasa Hashem nagila v'nismecha. This is the day Hashem has made, and we'll rejoice and be glad in it. Ay 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 Here's one for Israel. When my enemies rise up against me, I will cry out unto the Lord. He hears my voice from above. He strengthens me with his love. For I know that he's promised me victory, even though my foe has encompassed me. So I will stand up and fight. I will be strong in his might. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. For his power, he strengthens me with his hand. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. In victory I will live. To God the glory I'll give. When my enemies rise up against me, I will cry out unto the Lord. He hears my voice from above. He strengthens me with his love. For I know that he's promised me victory, even though my foe has encompassed me. So I will stand up and fight. I will be strong in his might. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. For in his power I stand. He strengthens me with his hand. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. In victory I will live. To God the glory I'll give. In victory I will great old book. It's called Job, maybe one of the oldest. And there's this fantastic phrase, scripture, verse, where Job says, he gives and he takes away. But the name of the Lord shall be praised. This is a good Matt Redman version of that we haven't played in a long time, but it feels like now is the time. Blessed be your name in the land that is plentiful, where your streams of abundance flow. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name when I'm found in the desert place, though I walk through the wilderness. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes and Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be your name when the sun's shining down on me, when the world's all as it should be. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name on the road marked with suffering, though there's pain in the offering. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes and Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. You give and you take away. You give and you take away. My heart will choose to say, oh Lord, blessed be your name. You give and you take away. You give and you take away. My heart will choose to say, oh Lord, blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. You give and you take away. You give and you take away. My heart will choose to say, oh Lord, blessed be your name. You give and you take away. You give and you take away. My heart will choose to say, oh Lord, blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be the name of your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Play you one you may never have heard before, and it has falsetto in it, which I really can't do, so you do that for me. But this is a song that just really, every time I hear it, it's old. It's like 20 years old maybe. Oh my God, shine your light on us, that we might live. Oh my God, shine your light on us, that we might live. I've been holding on. I've been holding on. And all that is inside me, dreams to come back home. If you feel lost, if you feel lost, sing along. If you feel tired, if you feel tired, sing along. If you feel lost and tired, this is your song. I've been broken down. I've been broken down. And I ain't giving up, 'cause love will come back around. If you feel lost, if you feel lost, sing along. If you feel tired, if you feel tired, sing along. If you feel lost and tired, this is your song, your song. Oh my God, shine your light on us, that we might live. Oh my God, shine your light on us, that we might live. Roseville sun, disaster comes, oh my soul, oh my soul. Waters rise, and hope takes flight, oh my soul, oh my soul, oh my soul. Ever faithful, ever true, you I know, you never let go. You never let go, never let go, never let go. You never let go, never let go, you never let go. Clouds brought rain, disaster came, oh my soul, oh my soul. When waters rolled and hope had flown, oh my soul, oh my soul, oh my soul. Ever faithful, ever true, you I know, you never let go. You never let go, never let tov, ki le'olam chesdo. Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chesdo. Olu Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chesdo. Give thanks, for the Lord is good, His mercy ever endures. Give thanks, for the Lord is good, His mercy ever endures. Let's stand together, my friends. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, לעולם, 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 לעולם ועד. יאללה You may be seated. We join with synagogues around the world at this time, either right now or they've already done it or they're going to do it behind us, whatever time zone. The watchword of Israel we declare together. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Blessed is the name of his glorious King. Blessed is his name for all eternity. Blessed is the name of his glorious King for all eternity. All eternity. Yeshua, he is my Messiah. He is Lord of all. Yeshua, he is my Messiah. He is Lord of all. He is Lord of all. He is Lord of all. Yeah. Let's stand again for the standing prayer. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Oh, open my lips. Open my lips. Open my lips. Open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Declare your praise. Declare your praise. Declare your praise. Adonai, Sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. To the God who is faithful through all the generations. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avod, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayem Eitim Atah V'Rav Lechoshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Morid Agashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayem Eitim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umchaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neman Atah Lechachayot Meitim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMeitim. That is to the God who raises, who promises to, who is mighty to raise the dead. To the one seated above the heavens, we rise to our feet 3 times, joining with the angelic host who declares, holy, holy, holy. Says the good book tells us they rise when they do that. So as we declare these words, we rise with them. That's why you see people standing on their heels. Toes. That's hard to do, but it can be done. But it doesn't get you up very high when you do that. It actually makes you. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. And this, I'll remind you, is this part of the Kedusha. The Kedusha is part of the Amidah, the central component, but it's has very special meaning right now as you're thinking about what's going on in the world and in the center of the world, which is not the United States. It's actually Israel. And this is a cry from the people of Israel and all of us. Mimkom Malkeinu Tofia V'timloch aleinu Ki mechakim anachnu lach Ay, ay, ay Matai timloch Betzion Bekarov Be'amenu Le'olam va'ed tishkon Titkadav v'titkadash Betoch Yerushalayim Mircha L'dor v'ador U'netzach netzachim Ve'enenu tireina malchutecha Kadavar ha'amor b'shirei uzecha Al yadei David Mashiach tzidkecha. To the God who sanctifies and blesses this day of rest. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. To the God restoring his presence to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato leTzion. To the God whose name is good and to whom all gratitude is due. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulchanei lechodot. To the God who grants peace, we need it now. Baruch atah Adonai havarech et amo Yisrael B'Shalom. This is the prayer that our Master Yeshua taught us. Sing it together with some life and some spice today. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim Yikadesh Mecha Taro Malchutecha Yeaseh Ritzonecha Kasher Bashamayim Gam Ba'aretz Et La'achmeinu Lemachar Ten Lanu Hayom Umechal Lanu Al Chovoteyenu Ka'asher Machamnu Gam Ananu Lechayaveinu Yal Tivienu L'nei Nisayon Yimdat Zileinu Binara Ki Lecha Mamlecha Ve'agevura Ve'chatiferet Le'omei Olamim Amen. For the sake of our Master Yeshua and his merit and his virtues, may the sayings of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be favorable, be favorable, be favorable to you. Oh Lord, my rock, my redeemer. Oh Lord, my rock, my redeemer. Oh Lord, my rock, my redeemer. Oh Lord, my rock and my redeemer, Yeshua, Hu HaMashiach, Hu Hadon HaKol. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, the King of the universe, who has given us the way of salvation in Messiah Yeshua. Amen. You may be seated. We will take up we'll mention our offerings. Thank you for supporting the work of the synagogue and all that we do for folks everywhere, here and around the world. It's truly a blessing. There's a link to give right there, and you can also give in the box in the back of the synagogue. Shabbat Shalom, my friends. May God bless you in this day with peace, joy, and happiness. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
First of all, we have today normally our normal stuff. We have kids Hebrew at 1:30. We have Torah Club at 1:30, if that's right. Everybody, you doing Torah Club, Lance? Okay, Torah Club 1:30. We also have a couple other things. We have the ladies are going to have a Rosh Chodesh meeting. Is it this Tuesday night or next Tuesday night? I don't know what today is. It's next Tuesday night. Okay.
Please cue Cool and the gang for that.
That's right. We're gonna cue it up. Ladies, put it on your calendar. Next Tuesday night from 7 to 9:30. Kristen, where is it going to be? At your house. Okay, at Kristen's house. Gentlemen, a week from this Saturday, it'll be the following Saturday, we're going to have our monthly Torah on tap at 7 p.m. at Shalom Macon. If you have not been a part of these, I invite you to come out. We always have an amazing, amazing time. We have lots of guys involved. We have guys that come in person. We have lots of guys online with us too. So come out or connect with us online if you're unable to come. I know some of you guys drive a ways from to be here with us on Shabbat. I'm looking at Tim Timmer right now. You guys make the trek, are making it more frequently now again, and we're thankful to have you, but that's quite a trek. So anyway, if you want to join us online, you can do that. And we are going to be studying chapters 7 and chapter 8 of the book that we're working through right now, the book on Mesilat Yesharim. It's the Lights Along the Way. We may throw in chapter 9, so go ahead and read that ahead of time. I'll let you know in the announcement I'll put on Shalom at Home tomorrow. What else we got? That's it? Okay, so real quick, Sabrina has an announcement regarding Hanukkah, and we got one more after that.
Shabbat Shalom. There'll be more details about the Hanukkah Shabbaton, but I wanted to announce to parents that we are starting our Hanukkah Children's Program practices today. So every Shabbat we'll be practicing for our Hanukkah Children's Program. So if you want your children to participate, make sure they're here on Shabbat. We'll practice during Shabbat class time, and then we'll probably do a couple of full rehearsals together before our Hanukkah party and program. If you're online and you are going to be, or if you're a long-distance member and you're planning to come for the Hanukkah Shabbaton and your children can't be here, obviously, for all the practices, I can put out the link, I can put out the words, you can practice at home. Please join us, if you come in town for that weekend. So, thank you.
Aaron has some information we need to know about the kitchen.
We have been blessed in so many ways, individually, as families, and as a community. And one of the ways that Shalom Macon has been blessed is by those of you who have shared your kitchen utensils with us and your kitchen dishes, and by the church that we bought this building from. We have gone through all of the items in the kitchen and have been able to wean out the ones that are needed for festivals and regular occasions, and the ones that we would love to bless others. So starting next week, we will let you know where they will be, and the extra utensils and bowls and what have you, platters, will be in a certain location next week, and you are more than welcome to take what you would like. If you find something that you left here, you're more than welcome to take it back. Anything that's left after that period, we will go and we'll take it to the rescue mission or some other place where they can use those. So anyway, thank you for blessing us, and we would like to return the favor.
I have one too. Hey, good morning. I wish everybody wanted to get in here as badly as that bird. Have you watched the bird? Wouldn't it be wonderful if people were banging at the windows and the doors trying to get in? We're happy. We are happy. We're happy to be here. I have told you in the past how I got to know Rabbi Damien. I went to a couple classes he did at Wesleyan and then to High Yesod. I didn't go alone. I had some friends with me. And one of those friends and I were talking to another friend who had not met him before. And she was asking me why I came. Unfortunately, my friends didn't stick with it like I did, so they're not here today. But she was asking me why I continued to come, and I said, well, you know, Rabbi Damien is a brilliant Bible scholar, and he knows all the context. And my friend said, yeah, and he's hot. And I said, trying to ignore that, I said, and he's a gifted teacher. He can explain things really well. And my friend's standing there saying, and he's hot. And so kind of trying to ignore the whole thing, I said, well, he's also a dynamic speaker. You know, he can talk for 40, 45 minutes and you still want more. And my friend said, Linda goes to listen, I go to look. And I hope you're embarrassed. I'll tell you. I have a friend who's a priest.
I did not approve this
Well, I might tell you that this friend who thinks you're so hot is 88 years old. So, grandmothers find you very attractive. So I have a friend who's, Kelly's a grandmother. Is she? Yes. I mean people old enough to be your grandmother. I have a friend who's a priest, and he asked me if we had a cantor. And I said, well, no, Rabbi Damien does the singing. And he said, he sings? And I said, oh yeah, he plays the guitar, and he sings, and he does that. And he kind of defeated said, so he's the whole package, huh? So whatever brings you here, whether you came for the liturgy or the music or the teachings or the view, I think we'll all agree that Rabbi Damien, together with Kelly, because we have a whole package here, it's pretty exceptional. And one of the things that is the most amazing to me is the stuff he says up here when he's speaking. He believes all that stuff, and he really strives to live it out. And that's impressive in this day of hypocrisy and cynicism. So we set aside one day a year to honor him and let him know how much we appreciate him. Someone, when I was talking about this to someone else, said, well, he should know that we appreciate him and that we love him. Well, he's getting older, and he needs to be reminded periodically, so he forgets things. So thank you. This is it. I'm done.
Now I'm mortified to stand up here now. Thank you so much.
Accomplished it.
Seriously,
Thank you.
seriously,
Thank
I'll
you.
just add to that. Everybody, we love Rabbi, and he is our fearless leader, and we are so thankful for his, not only his leadership, but as Linda said, his example.
Thank you.
Amen.
Appreciate it. I love you guys. I used to be very easy to embarrass. Like I wouldn't order a pizza when I was young on the phone because I was afraid I would say something wrong and I would get totally embarrassed. I've grown way out of that. Like I don't get embarrassed easily, but that was a success. Thank you to everyone who sits in these seats, who works in this field that we're planting, and that is what we're doing as a community. I might have the privilege of standing here. See? It's this day when I realized how much you truly love me. Miranda made the week, by the way, Miranda's making flowers for the synagogue weekly. She's doing all the arrangements. And this week you'll notice for Rabbi Appreciation Day, it's actually Tiger Appreciation Day. It's sad that Dave Hazen is not here because tonight LSU plays Alabama. And he's an Alabama redneck who hopefully will be put in his place tonight.
But I'm not going to say anything because I've lost so many times before. But thank you. I love and appreciate you. And thank you for taking a day to recognize the work that it's. Come here real quick. Please. Yeah, come on. I'm not going to be the only one embarrassed. Come here. Kelly loves to stand up. Every morning she asks me as I'm leaving, is today the day I can stand up on stage and say all the things? And I say, not today, sweetie. She hates standing up here, but this is how it works. It does not work without this. If I tell you this all the time, but it's important always to recognize that of all the things that I can't even muster the thoughts to explain to you how she has kept me in this game. It's not a game, but you understand what I mean. She has always been the one who listens to me when people hurt me, when they anger me, when I feel like it's fruitless and hopeless and everything. She's the one, first of all, who has to listen to it. And secondly, she's the one who has the fine words to encourage me and sometimes to kick my butt figuratively. When I want to have excuses or want to do something, and she tells me, this is what you do, go do it. And so, thank you to my wife. It's Rabbi Rebbitzin Appreciation Day. Did you want to say all the things you wanted to say?
No.
She didn't want to say anything. Kids, let's go to Shabbat school. Nice work, man. I like when we have to bring the camera angle out wide for all the kids. It's the way it should be. Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. May the Lord make you like Ephraim and Menashe. That means, may the Lord bless you, both from your earthly parents, caretakers, and from your Father in heaven. Yisamech Elohim keSorah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the Lord make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May the Lord make you like Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor, all of you. Father, bless and protect our children and help us. I think so often of what's being taught to these young Palestinian kids and how they grow up. This is a canvas. You are each a canvas, a piece of art. And so, God, help us to paint within them a beautiful picture. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, yo'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka, yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. All right, you can go find your parents and go to learn. Thank you. One of my favorite things about my job is when I uncover a problem in the text, a problem with the content, a problem in the Bible. And we've got a problem. It's a very non-traditional problem, according, like in the eyes of Judaism. This is not a problem, but I think it's a problem, and I'm going to run it by you to see if you think it's a problem. And I'm going to read you some scriptures, some passages for you to identify the problem. It starts with last week's Torah portion, Genesis 16. Sarai, this was before the name change, Abram's wife, had borne to him no children. She had a female Egyptian servant whose name was Hagar in Hebrew, Hagar. And Sarai said to Abram, "Behold, now the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go in to my servant. It may be that I shall obtain children by her." And Avram listened to the voice of Sarai. Right? That happened. You could do that back then. But then Hagar conceived. And when Sarai saw she had conceived, she looked with contempt. When Hagar saw that she had conceived, she looked with contempt on her mistress. Sarai then said to Avram, "May the wrong done to me be on you. I gave her to you to embrace, and now she's treating me badly." And Avram said, "Behold, your servant is in power. You can treat her like you want to. She's your slave." Then Sarai dealt harshly with her, and she fled from her. Hagar left. And then the next thing that happened is Sarai conceived, and she bore a son. What was his name? Laughter, Yitzhak. Like there was a lot of joy. It was happiness. It was an amazing thing. She was an old woman. They had a baby. It was incredible. Sarah said, "God has made laughter for me. Everyone who hears will laugh with me, over me." And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on that day Isaac was weaned. But Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, laughing. So she said to Abraham, "Cast out this slave woman with her son, for this son of this slave woman shall not be heir with my son Isaac." And the thing was very displeasing to Abraham on account of his son. But God said to Abraham, "Be not displeased because of the boy and because of your slave woman. Whatever Sarah says to you, do as she tells you." Okay? So here's the progression in case you're thinking it through. Go into my servant that we can have a baby. You'll have a baby with her. And Abraham listened. And then Sarai got very angry and said, "I'm angry with you. May this be on you. The wrong done to me be on you." Then Sarai treated Hagar harshly, and she fled. And then she said to Abraham, "Cast out this slave woman. I don't want her anywhere around here." Do you see the problem? Maybe you don't. Let me tell you what I see. Whose fault is all of this? Whose fault is Sarah's plight, which ultimately becomes everyone's plight? She told Abraham to do it. And yes, Hagar behaved rudely to Sarah. But listen, we just blessed our kids in the merit of Sarah. She's the matriarch of the Jewish people. She's the model for all women in Judaism. Wouldn't have forgiveness been the appropriate response here? And Ishmael, a kid, taunts another kid, and for that he's going to be banished, separated from his father forever, kicked out, whatever. I mean, wouldn't it seem more appropriate for Sarah to sort of overlook these things, considering she's just been blessed with her own child? Miraculously, she's celebrating the laughter of having a child. That seems more appropriate, celebrating the good. She's been vindicated. I mean, she couldn't have kids. She now has kids, but the memory of her childless days are completely gone. Problems? Does that seem like a problem to you? To me, it's at least questions, but that's actually not the problem I'm talking about. You want to know what the real problem I see is? God went along with it. God went along and sided with Sarah. He tells Abraham, do what she said. But isn't she doing it from a mean, vengeful, spiteful place? Yes, of course, every mom would defend their child to the death. I understand that. But this seems extreme for God to be in support of this action. I mean, what is it all about? Does he feel sorry for Sarah? Did he forget when it comes to Ishmael? Has he put mercy and compassion on hold for just a moment so that Sarah can be justified? Beyond the problems there, what possible thing could Ishmael have done? The commentaries are full of ideas. He was actually shooting arrows at Isaac and all kinds of stuff. That's in the commentaries. But I mean, such a drastic action. Why did God apparently acquiesce to Sarah's anger? Because that's sort of really what it is. If we're honest, I think we all kind of feel sorry for Hagar and Ishmael, don't we? And you know the story I'm talking about. I'll tell you about it. But is this some divine wisdom that we can't comprehend? Or is it as plain as it looks? Well, as you might guess, there is more to the story than what you read plainly. And yes, it is divine wisdom because it's a necessary event. And everything to do with God's long game vision and plan. And we find some answers actually to these questions and these difficulties in this week's Torah portion, which is called Vayera. And you will find that all of this has virtually nothing to do with Sarah and everything to do with God. Not that we're writing women out of the story in any way. But this Torah portion is a monumentally important Torah portion in Genesis. You have Abraham meeting these guests. You have Sodom and Gomorrah. You have Hagar and Ishmael kicked out. And then you have what's called the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, the near death of Abraham's son. All of that's happening in this portion. And the binding of Isaac, you know, of course, this story, happens in Genesis 22. Do you know what happens in Genesis 21 just before that? Ishmael and Hagar get kicked out. The expulsion, and courtesy of one of my favorite Torah commentators of late, Rav Chanok Waxman, I want to show you something that you might not have noticed about these two events that are side by side in Genesis 21 and 22. You know Hagar and Ishmael's story. I'll give you the summary. Abraham does as he's told by Sarah, by God. He takes them out, expels them. They're out there in the wilderness. It's actually a pretty heart-wrenching story about Hagar crying for Ishmael. She leaves him, goes a distance away so that she doesn't have to watch her flesh and blood die. But God shows up and delivers them and confirms his promise to Ishmael. What was that promise? He will be a great nation, God says. Ishmael. But why did we need to know that? Why the details? Why that gut-wrenching story? Why that? Why not just say, Abraham kicked him out because Sarah and God said so, and that's it. Sarah wins. Now on to the testing of Abraham and Isaac. But that's not what happens. What is the point that the Torah is making? I'll tell you. We'll see some cool things, and you'll find that in both chapters, very important word surfaces, not literally, testing. Testing. Consider there first the similarities. This is a Bible-rich message, okay? This is a teaching message. You need to read your Bible to understand what I'm going to tell you, but I'll give you the highlights. I want to look at the similarities between what happens with Hagar and Abraham and Ishmael and what happens with Abraham and Isaac. Have you ever noticed all of the similarities between these two events? Let me point them out. Consider first what's in common. How do both of these events start? Ishmael being sent out, Isaac being brought up. Vayeshkem Avraham b'boker. And Abraham rose early in the morning. Did you know he did that? He did it for both events. He rose early in the morning. That's very, very prominent in the Isaac narrative, but it's also in Ishmael. He gets up to fulfill a commandment of God involving separating from a son he loves, both of whom who have been given promises. Their journeys, they're on a journey, use a variation of this Hebrew root word, he lamed chaf, which is where we get the word halacha, holech, to walk. They are going out. They're both on a journey. And both of these stories, these lines, use the term na'ar in Hebrew to define this lad. Lads, na'ar. They are both in grave danger. The danger to both of them, who puts them in the place of danger? A parent. Their parent. Hagar leaves Ishmael to die. Abraham sends Ishmael out. He brings Isaac up. And the resolution of the stories are also equally similar, incredible actually. The climax comes when who shows up? The angel of the Lord shows up. Fear not, Hagar, do not lay your hand on the boy, he says to Abraham. Fear not, God's going to take care of it. And both stories conclude with the appearance of the solution. What showed up in Ishmael's story? Water. What showed up in Isaac's story? Ram. There's safety, there's survival, there's redemption. The stories conclude then with a direct or indirect reference to the lads, to their marriages that happens. All of these things that connect these two stories, one chapter apart, though there were no chapters and verses in the Torah. Story. There's a little Abimelech in between, but that's actually amazing, and I'm sure you have in your Bible a list of side-by-side similarities, right? You've written that down. You looked at that. You studied it. Abraham's offspring, children of promise in some way, threatened by his own action, which was commanded by God. That's weird. They both have it. Each story is, as Rav Waxman points out, a very familiar story to all of us who like to watch Hollywood productions. This is the story of journey, danger, rescue for both of them. Journey, danger, rescue. The progenitor of a nation. Both of these guys, right? Isaac equals Israel and the Jewish people. Ishmael equals Arabia, the Arab people. These are the fathers of nations who endure a near-death experience before they set out on the course of their future. Okay, cool. So they're fathers of the nations in a sense, and they had this difficult test to overcome. But it doesn't actually answer any of the problems that I posed. Why God sided with Sarah, why those details are in there, why Sarah gets to be mean like this. For all those answers, we need to look at something different in the stories. Not what's the same, but what's different. Because there are some significant differences. There's a divergence here. First of all, with Isaac, there is a strong determination to see this thing through. Okay? Isaac is going up. He had undoubtedly, by the time this occurs, made drawn the conclusion that who was the sacrifice? Oh, I am. I am the sacrifice. His question, where is the lamb for the offering, indicates that he had some curiosity or confusion. Abraham's very famous answer, God will provide for himself the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. But in the Hebrew, God will provide the lamb for the offering, my son. Isaac knew what was going on. And he went, certainly not comforting, and yet the wood is on his back. And the Torah says something unique about what they did to get there. Vayalechu shnechem yachdav. They went on yachdav, together. They went together as one. It says that 3 times. They were united in the task. Here's the funny thing. It's not funny at all. If Abraham did this, it would completely undo the promise of God, right? This was the child of promise. This is the one they waited for. And so they're both going to do this thing that's going to end the promise. The miracle and the promise die. With Ishmael, there are some big differences. First off, I want you to understand something, that Hagar had no reason to believe that the promise had actually been revoked. She was not asked to kill Ishmael. She wasn't asked to do those things. And when Sarah is first mean to her and she goes away, the angel of the Lord confronts her and says, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm running away from her. She's mean." And Hagar and the angel says, "Go back to her. Go back to her. Allow yourself to be afflicted under her." That's not nice, but it is what it is. Hagar had to go back, and she knew that her life was kind of going to stink. And this actually is an opportunity to move away from that, to live in freedom away from Sarah. But this should have been expected. This is the affliction of her mistress. But none of that, none of those things with Sarah, that doesn't undo the promise the way that it would have had Abraham killed Isaac, to sacrifice him. So Hagar is not in jeopardy of losing, but in her despair, she wanders aimlessly through the desert, and she eventually becomes lost. This is what some of the commentaries say, that Abraham actually gave them all they needed to get where they were going, but Hagar was in such, whatever the word is, that she lost her way, and they ran out of supplies, and they were out of water. Okay, so she had no intention about where she was going. Abraham, Isaac, they set out, they're going to get there. Hagar is wandering through the wilderness, lost, and it's falling apart. And then there's the actual interaction between Hagar and Ishmael. How did Abraham and Isaac go? Yachdav, together. What happened with Hagar and Ishmael? She makes, the Torah says, a distance between them in many ways. Physically, she set him under a brush, under a plant, and then she goes away and she leaves him, and so they're separated. He's going to die over there. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the child under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposite him, a good way off, about the distance of a bow shot. For she said, "I don't want to see him die. Let me not look on the death of the child." And she sat opposite him. She lifted her voice and wept. So she's at an emotional distance as well. She's just kind of walking away. She's not offering words of encouragement or calls to courage. She's just abandoned him and given up. That's it. But you know what? That's actually okay. She's a mom, right? I mean, it's not to say she's weak. She's a mom. This is her son. It's her boy. So maybe it's understandable. But she doesn't handle it like Abraham, the picture of faith, the father of multitudes. But there's a really important contrast that needs to be noted here. This is the main point. The contrast between Isaac and Ishmael. The big one, you keep in mind, each of these lads has been called to be the leader of a nation. They're great nations. And I want you to note the difference in their response to their journey, danger, rescue story. We've discussed Isaac's response. "I will go, put the wood on my back. I'll go headlong into it, to be bound, to be sacrificed, trusting my earthly father, trusting my heavenly father will provide a solution." Keep in mind, he had to do it voluntarily. How many times do you think a 100-year-old guy could take a young man and, full Nelson him up and tie him up and get him on? It had to be voluntary for Isaac to do it. Ishmael, I want you to keep in mind, we see him at a young age, but he's not a little baby when this is happening. He's older. He's not a baby that Hagar needs to. That's what we picture, right? She put him under the bush, and she had to walk away because the baby was going to die there. He's not a baby. He's at least a teenager, if not a little older. But what did he do? As his mom loses faith and cries out, the Torah tells us this. Opposite him, she lifted up her voice and wept, and God heard the voice of the boy, the implication being, he also started crying. His mom's crying, she's over here, he's over here, he hears her crying, and now he starts crying. Again, nothing really wrong with it, but that's the progenitor of a nation? That's the patriarch? That's the brave, courageous guy who's going to lead the Arab nations? Where is the resolve? I mean, where is that hero part of the journey, danger rescue? Where is his courage? I mean, that's what we want to see, the will to live, to survive, to overcome. It's not there. Yeah, he was thirsty, he was tired, he was dehydrated, whatever. But this isn't the brave father of a nation. Where is the faith that God will provide, which is exactly what God actually did? The text then says, what troubles you, Hagar? Fear not, this is the angel of the Lord, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is. Up, lift up the boy, hold him fast with your hand, for I'll make him into a great nation. Then God opened up her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy, and he grew up. So there are similarities in this story, but the differences actually tell a story. It had nothing to do with Sarah. God did not acquiesce to Sarah's need to see Hagar put in her place or to see Ishmael, this boy, punished or spanked because he was a rotten kid. It had to do with God having a plan from the beginning, knowing what it takes and seeing it through. He knows everyone's personality. He knows Ishmael and Hagar and Sarah and Isaac and Abraham. He already apprehends their potential in life. He knows, though, that the despair, the division, the breakdown are not the best materials from which to mold the nation of Abraham. Ishmael, in other words, had not passed the test. And this is a possible explanation for why we needed God to tell us this part of the story in the Torah. More than just Sarah kicked him out and she was mean to him and there he went off and did this thing. No, you get to see him in action. You get to see his character. You get to see what kind of man these men would be. God was showing us something. And I want you to remember, Abraham said in Genesis 17, he's asking, oh God, that Ishmael might live before you. And God said, no. Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son. You shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as a covenant, everlasting covenant. And for Ishmael I heard, behold, I've blessed him. But I will establish my covenant with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this time next year. God did this. God knew who the lads were, and he wanted everyone else to know. These are the future generations of the Arabs and the Jews. Who's the brave leader? Who's the one willing to lay it all down and sacrifice himself? The answer's in the text. But I want to share this other short, interesting consideration and conclude with something for our world right now and going forward. These stories are called, they're the tests of Abraham, different numbers, some 9, some 10. But these two, the expulsion of Ishmael and the binding of Isaac, these are 9 and 10 in Abraham's, this is the top of the list. These are the hardest things. But what we're pointing out and seeing here is that it's a test also for the young men, right? Talk about being tested. They are facing a major, major test. They're kind of the ultimate ones. But what I want to say is there is this, there's another consideration about tests. Why would God need to test anyone? I mean, He's God, right? I just said He knew their personalities. And what's the deal with the testing? Why would the all-knowing God need to test anyone? He knows the plan. Well, for that, it's interesting to note that commentators look to other parts of the Bible for answers. And there's this, I mentioned this very old book to you already today. Remember what it was called? Job. Job, it's a story. And in the story, what happens? Job is this really good dude, right? And God says, Job, I like you. Actually, let me back up and say, I want to point this thing out first. In terms of testing, the commentators, when they're looking for an explanation for something, they look at other parts of the Bible. Yeah, Job. But in this thing, here's the suggestion that's offered. It says in Genesis 22, by the binding of Isaac, it says, and after these things, God tested Abraham, or Abraham was tested, right? After these things. That word things. It also means, in Hebrew, Devarim, it's the book it's the fifth book of the Torah. It also means what? Devarim means things and words. Okay? So the commentators read this Genesis 22 section and said, it was after these words in which Abraham was tested. What difference does that make? Well, in the Talmud, in the book of Jubilees, it asks, what words? What is this? You know whose words they were? The same speaker who spoke to God about Job in his book. The idea is that the adversary came and said, psst, I know, I see him down there, God. Abraham. Same Job, same thing with Job. Test him. Put him to the test and see what happens. I guarantee you he'll fail. And it was after those words that God tested Abraham. There were words in heaven regarding Abraham that he was faithful in everything that he told them, that the Lord loved him, and in every difficulty he was faithful. Then the Satan-like angel, this is from the book of Jubilees, Mastema, came and said before God, behold, Abraham loves Isaac his son, and he delights in him above all else. Tell him to offer him as a sacrifice on the altar. Then you'll see if he'll carry out his command, and you will know if he's faithful in everything through which you test him. That's one. The Talmud also goes on to say that Abraham made a great banquet on the day that Isaac was weaned. At that time, Satan said to God, Master of the universe, you've blessed this old man at the age of 100 years with offspring. Yet, and then Satan is picking in God's ear. And so, why the test? This text says because Satan wanted to see if he was worth his salt. And that's exactly what happened in James. But the critic argues the Torah contradicts that itself, because it says when Abraham has the knife, when he's about to do it, do not stretch forth your hand to the lad, nor do the slightest thing to him. For now I know that you are a God-fearing man. That's the angel of the Lord speaking on behalf of God. Now I know, now that you've done it, right? So that completely contradicts that thing. That says God is literally testing you because he didn't know, and now all of a sudden, because you were going to do it, he does know. there's a difficulty. That Hebrew word that spells I know, dalet ayin tet, can also be read in such a way as to say, I have made known. So that changes significantly what is happening here. It was indeed a test, but then what we read in some of the extra biblical texts, what does this change? I have made known to everyone that you are the one who loves me, and so with your son. Even Augustine was on board with this idea. Saint Augustine. Abraham was tested through the offering up of his beloved son Isaac to prove his pious obedience and so make it known to the world, not to God. You tracking with me on that? So the same could be said for Isaac, who went forth with bravery. His story was known. We see what God already knew when you contrast the stories of Isaac and Ishmael. There's a hero and there's a not hero. There's brave and courageous and bold and walking into the fire, and there's hiding under a bush crying like a baby. Thus, the test had at its core maybe a proof to Satan, maybe to other angels, but definitely to the world. Isaac is the child of promise. From now on, Rashi says, from now on I have a response to Satan and the nations who wonder what is my love toward you. Now I have a reason, for they see that you fear God. Remember that to the nations. Here's the last bit. Many people won't like me for what I'm going to say, but it's okay. You can say whatever you want. That's what our friend told us last week from the college campus. Isaac equals the Jewish people, Israel. Ishmael equals the Arab people. And Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. God said, no, but Sarah your wife shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his offspring after him. You ready? The land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people. And it started right there. Now, we can take a secular approach. Okay? There's a weakness in the argument when we're talking about the Arab-Israeli conflict, and I'm not going to talk about it a long time, but there's a weakness when people say, but the Bible says that's the Jew, God gave. Okay, fine. That is fine. The secular approach, though, is this. Let me tell you how this works. When you go to war and you kill a bunch of people and you take their land, that's your land. You keep it. It's not nice, but I'm just saying that's how the world works in war. So once you own it, unless somebody comes and takes it back from you, it's yours. But that's not the approach I want to take. I'm just saying that is a fact. I mean, we could talk about American history and European, all over the place we could talk. Israel has never launched an offensive battle to take land from someone. But if you come at me and I put you down, you're going to stay down. And I'm going to take what I want. Okay? Anyway, I just had to say that. Let's get back to the holy religious Bible stuff, okay? Because I prefer it, actually. It makes me feel much more peaceful. Ishmael and Isaac demonstrated their character. They were both blessed with land and a nation. One rose to the occasion, and through his and his father's actions of faith and courage, God has shown, as he said in our Satan words thing, God has shown to the world that this Isaac is the line of promise that transfers into the land of Israel and the Jewish people. To be called the chosen people has caused more grief, turmoil, death, tragedy for the Jewish people than anything else. We didn't choose it. We just did it. Because sometimes you just gotta do it. You just gotta be bold and brave and courageous and go up the mountain with the wood on your back. But this is the deal. God gave the land to Isaac's descendants, and he has shown this time and time again through miraculous battles and wars and much loss of innocent life. It is ours to defend. I say ours, I'm not on the ground defending it. But it is ours, those who are Jews and those who are connected to Israel through the blood of Messiah. It is ours, theirs to defend. Through Abraham, the world has been blessed. But specifically, through the line of Isaac, through the Jewish people, the world has been blessed in so many ways. And through the Jewish Messiah, a descendant of Isaac, not of Ishmael, the world will be forever blessed. And his feet will touch down on the land in Israel, where the sons and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob have defended and laid claim to the land that God gave them. And Abraham, Yeshua said, he saw my day and rejoiced. Well, buddy, when we see it in the end, Abraham and Isaac will be rejoicing when they see the day. And finally, the testing will be completed, for God will have confirmed and reconfirmed the covenant. And the people of Israel will live. Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom. Let's stand, my friends. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושבי קרוב בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, עמד מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד. On that day, we're talking about it. On that day, the Lord will be one, and his name will be one.
I should have done this earlier for the announcements. I apologize, but this is especially critical to people online if you haven't heard the announcement on Shalom at Home, but we're having a Teens to Life, their first meeting next Shabbat, 1:30. Zoom meeting. So if you're not connected with that,
I think
Shalom
it's
at Home,
this
connect
Shabbat.
that. I mean,
isn't it?
Today. Sorry, today. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. The 4th today.
Right.
Okay. So today at 1:30, the youth, the teens are having their Teens to Life meeting for the first time, At 1:30, you'll need to connect with Shalom at home, get the Zoom link from there. So 1:30 to 3.
And how do they find it on Shalom at Home? Where is it?
It's gonna be in the events section. So once you're on Shalom at Home, go to the events, and there'll be an events. What's that? It's called Happenings now. Sorry, thank you. Happenings.
Okay, excellent. I want to encourage all of our teens to pop in, check it out, get connected, make some relationships with people like you around the world who understand you. It's a good feeling to be understood. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you his peace. B'Shem Yeshua. Yivrachecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yo'er Adonai ponav elecha v'yihuneka. Yisa Adonai ponav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. I'm going to bless we have our own egg today, and so I'll just make sure we're blessing it from a distance. How's that? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei puri hagafen. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'Shem Yeshua halechem hachayim. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, who brings forth bread from the earth and has given us Yeshua the Messiah, the bread of life. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, you know what? This is the last thing I'm going to tell you. I've been telling you about standing up and being strong and, finding a way to make a difference and communicating. I had a guy at the gym yesterday. He came up to me and said, "You're a rabbi, right?" "I am." "What do you think about all this?" "Oh, that's a long conversation." He goes, My concern is if we're over here, fighting, sending money to Israel, which is fine, and Ukraine, and then we're gonna, I'm concerned China's gonna bust in here on our shores, and what are we gonna do? What do you think? I said, I don't think about that. I think about the dead people, and I think about the hostages, and I think about the war, and I think it's important that you understand that in Australia, there was a rally where people were chanting, "Gas the Jews." That's what I think about, and that's what I think you should think about. He's like, but that's what I mean by standing strong. Be bold. Talk about it. Talk about it. Not get in people's faces, but just have a reasoned response. And I want to say this, and this is not self-promotion in any way, but last week's message is something that people need to hear, what I said here. And every single person here on Shalom at Home in here, every one of you should post that message somewhere that someone is going to be challenged by it. And you have to be prepared for the fact that they might. And then be ready to rise to the occasion. But share things. That's a simple and easy thing you can do to put it out there. It has nothing to do with whether our synagogue grows or anything like that. It's about truth and battle, which is what we can do from 6,000 miles away. Okay? Shabbat Shalom.